He said, "You are my Son, in whom I am well pleased." Immediately in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, in all three of these Gospels, after the baptism story of Jesus that we found in Matthew chapter 3, in all three stories, Jesus goes out into the wilderness to be tested. You see, after Israel went through the waters of the Red Sea, and I'd written down here the Nile River. They didn't go through the Nile River, y'all. I'm glad I caught that. They went through the Red Sea, believe it or not. That's the one that got parted. After they went through the water, they went in the desert, in the wilderness, to be tested by God. And Jesus is doing the same thing. He went through the waters of baptism, and now He's going into the wilderness to be tested. God gave His expectations to the Israelites in Exodus 24, and the people of Israel promised, all these things, they said, we will do. Now, if you know, Exodus chapter 20 is where you find the Ten Commandments. So the Israelites knew what God's expectations were, and they said, God, we're going to do all these things. Now they're out in the wilderness, and they're going to be tested. Are you really going to do all these things? And we know how the story turns out. Not so well. They didn't really do all these things. They never kept their word. They never kept God's law. They failed God as a son. That was who Israel was. It was God's son. Yet where Israel failed, Jesus prevailed. Look at verse 1 of Matthew chapter 4.